Hey guys, Artosis here, bringing you some more Moonlight Pro League Survivor Series. Right now we are in game number 3. True, our Zerg player, has already taken out both Haya from the Team Terran and Mighty from the Team Protoss. Up next, though, this might be a bit more than he can chew. We'll see about that. It's going to be Scan, the recently crowned CNSL 5 champion, down in the bottom right of Butter, representing Team Terran. Now, if True's able to win this, he is really putting things into Zerg's favor, right? Because you've eliminated a couple of very strong Terran players. Generally, historically, Zerg has a slightly easier time against Protoss than it does against Terran. It's not as true as it used to be. Sometimes it can definitely feel that way, though, with all the Hydra busts and cheeses that they can pull off. But we'll see what True has up his sleeve. I do want to thank you all for watching. Please make sure you subscribe and do hit that notification button as well. I think ArtosisCasts is going pretty well, so thank you very much, guys. Now, as far as Butter goes, you know, being a two-player map, the one thing that I always think about on this map is how wide open the natural can be. Do you want to put buildings out there to kind of make it a little bit safer for your expansion? We'll show you that as Scan goes to expand. This is very likely going to be a one barracks expansion. He has that depot coming up. He probably will put it right there. As drone comes out, he probably has to fight that a little bit as well. He doesn't want that harassing him, but he does need to get out there and actually scout what's going on, see if this is a pool first or anything like that. Here comes that second SCV. He's actually put a good amount of damage on that drone. The drone really hasn't done too much other than cause a little bit of lost mining time. But yeah, it's about time for Scan to go ahead and decide if he wants that second depot right away or not. The SCV going to turn around as the drone goes home. Scan almost there to see True's base. He has gone for a hatchery first play with pretty standard gas and pool afterwards. So it does look like it's going to be a two-hatch Mutalisk most likely. You know, that's pretty much what you see in this matchup, although there has been a little revival of 3-hatch, I think especially from Shine. For those of you who saw in ASL Season 14, Shine started to dominate some of the world's best Terran players with some 3-hatch play once again, some really big brain stuff. I'm not sure if anyone else is going to start doing that. Like, Shine being such a smart player, and most of the current up-and-coming Zergs got there on the back of specifically Mutalisk Micro rather than tactics and strategy like Shine oftentimes utilizes with some of his builds. But anyways, we're getting pretty off topic there. You can see that here Scan has decided to make his second depot after the command center and then goes ahead and throws a barracks next to it. So this is what I was talking about. Because if you look at the natural, this is like one of the most important things to look at, is how defendable your natural expansion is, right? This area is super wide. The area near the command center, there's no way to really guard it. So you want to guard up front. But if you're guarding up front and you don't have, like, buildings with tons of health in the way, like, let's say you just put a bunker up here, Zerglings can simply run in and surround it. Your SCVs won't be able to get there fast enough, right? That's why bunkers always go near command centers, so you can get your SCVs there to actually help out, because a bunker doesn't just kill lings. If they have a bunch of lings, they will break it down. But when you make a building structure like this, much better against Zerglings, but it is weaker against the Mutalisks, and heaven forbid they go for some sort of lurker play. Obviously, they can do things like kill your depots off. That's a whole nother thing, though. We'll talk about that another time if it ever occurs. It's kind of rare. So a few lings are out on the map. Scan did end up losing his scouting SCV, unfortunately, so doesn't have a great idea of what's going on, but he's completely safe. A second depot actually going down. That's interesting. This is getting really far out there. He does have it set up in such a way that he could put like a missile turret here to help against Mutalisks. But yeah, that's two depots very far out in the front. The Academy here is a little over halfway done. Spire on the way for True. And just droning. Not getting too aggressive or anything, right? He does have Zergling speed, as you can see, and he is kind of clearing the area, making sure nothing's around. If you look at the mini-map, he's scouting quite a bit. You know, you got to be careful, make sure that there's not some sort of weird move out that you miss. Like, this Overlord here sees a lot, but, like, you could slip out the side, right? You could slip out the side and go up here and then, like, go this way and maybe go up and pop the third base, something like that. But Scan has actually been known to make moves like that occasionally. Like, he's definitely won a few cheeky games where he'll just walk across the map with like 8 Marines and no medics and kill your drones if he thinks the coast might be clear. Willing to take, you know, any reasonable risk that he assesses could work out for him. So we have the eBay coming up. It looks like a 3rd barracks. And is he going to add that 4th barracks? He's been really liking the 4 barracks play lately. Very, very heavy on the Marines and medics. Over at True's base, Carapace gets started before any Mutalisks, so very, very fast on that. And another hatchery. Oh my gosh. Okay, this is new. This is different. This is exciting. Like, I never, ever, ever see this. So everything else has been very standard, like the timing of the 3rd base, the timing of Zergling speed. The Carapace is not super common, but it's become more common as Valkyries have gotten more popular and everything. Like, people are making battle mutas again, as I like to call them, because they can actually sit there and fight rather than just run away and harass with that +1 attack. But to take a 4th base this quickly, he's actually like just skipping a lot of his Mutalisks. He will eventually make them, but he's delaying the time that they come in. See how long he has these turrets up? Scan wanted to time these turrets so that they were finishing as the Mutalisks get here. That's how you kind of optimize things. But they've been done for a while, and the Mutas are just now coming across the map, and that's because he got such a quick 4th base, which this is just very, very uncommon. We'll see if Scan can figure out what's going on here. Like, you always assume this is the 3rd. I never really see anyone take this that quickly. You know, the 4th base is obviously the point of contention with Marine Medic against regular Zerg play. That 4th base is really what you're looking to deny rather than the 3rd in most situations. But the fact that it's already up, I'm interested to see what True does with it. Like, is he just gonna like go Mega Gas and go pure Mutalisk here and just try to win like that? I mean, that could be a very good strategy. He's got to like produce some extra drones as well to kind of make up the mineral deficit. So yeah, we'll see. He already has that 3rd gas. Healthy drone count 7. That's completely normal. And then the main base, yeah, looks like that's all saturated. And just popping a few more drones out for minerals over here. So the Mutas, let's see what they can get done. Their +1 carapace is actually, I believe, a little bit ahead of +1 attack. There's +1 attack. There's +1 carapace. So yeah, that's kind of funny. There's only going to be a few seconds in between them, I think. But so it probably shouldn't really make too much of a difference. But might be slightly surprising to Scan to see that +1 carapace just so quickly. Because it was like 4th base and +1 carapace, then the delayed Mutas. Now, a few Marines went off to the side. There's no vision here for True. So there's some real potential for these Marines to get drones. Looks like a few Lings are going to the side. That will really, really help if he sees those Marines. Oh my god, he didn't see them. Like, I start whispering because I'm like, oh my god. Like, don't blow their cover, guys. This is going to be crazy. Okay, he stims in. Let's see how many drones he can get. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. That's amazing. You got 4 drones with those 3 Marines. Like, so worth it. Drone kills are like the best worker kills that you can get in this game. There's generally less drones than there are, you know, probes or SCVs. So picks off a Muta there with his main force as well. We have an additional gas over here, but the 4 drones that died, 4 mineral drones, will those be replaced? It looks like they are going to be. He's going back up to 34 drones, which is where he was at before that attack. Now, double starport is up. Science facility is on the way. And that means straight into vessels. So no Valkyries or anything, and that's actually going to be a very good call because there is that +1 carapace. Like, you can still go Valkyrie against that. It's not bad, but it's not nearly as strong, right? You can get, like, +1 Valkyrie attack as well, but then you have to really commit to Valkyries for a long time to make that work, to make that a worthwhile investment. So going into those vessels, very, very nice. The 4 barracks producing, 5th barracks on the way. Scan actually getting a little bit stretched out. You can see his army in a line here. Some of the units kind of trailing behind, not traveling in a group, and True immediately jumping upon that, immediately trying to punish that a little bit. Does slow him down. The Mutalisk count is actually downright silly right now. Look at this. He's got, like, more than 2 groups already in this game, still producing, and he's actually going for +2 carapace. Oh, that's wild. That's something that you really don't see every day. Oh my god. +2 carapace right off the bat. I'm really excited to see him pull that off. Obviously, a Radiate is not going to care about your carapace upgrades, not even one little bit. So, again, Scan's tech route here seems to fit the situation very, very well. A little bit of harassment flies in from those Mutalisks. Still, look at this, 9 Mutalisks in production. That's insane. You can produce 12 mutas a minute off of 4 gas, by the way. So that's like a really huge amount. This is all about Scan getting critical mass. I don't know if he can actually figure out what's going on. Like, it feels like it's just mass muta, but like the more and more it's mass muta, you actually have to sit back longer and longer, and eventually you will hit an army that mutas can't beat. Like, you can get so many Marines that have like 1/1 upgrades and just like 3 Irradiates, and you'll kill everything. But like right now, look, he's going to jump upon this. Irradiate is done. It is ready, but it's not going to be there in time. The Muta's absolutely decimating this army. 1 Irradiated Muta does get pulled out relatively quickly, so he doesn't take too much damage from that. But imagine that fight with the Irradiate at the beginning and this group of Marines, right? Suddenly, you might just destroy every Mutalisk, and Shru's chances are just about gone. Now, Scan still is in this game, but look at this. Shru jumping in immediately on top of those turrets. He does not care even a little bit, going after everything. Irradiate goes down. It's actually a very good Irradiate. Kills 3 Mutalisks. And the turret's helping out quite a bit as well, but he is over these barracks. This is the scary part. If he can stay over the barracks, you can't get any more units. Barracks taking some significant damage, going after the starports now as well. So few Marines remain. Scan starts building mass turrets, and he is going to need even more than that. Like, that is really the only chance at this point is to turret push out. Did he lose all of his vessels during that to the Scourge? Oh my god, I think that he did. With no vessels out, you don't have any additional splash for these mutas. And I think that that's going to spell defeat. 2-2 is on the way, which is fantastic for the Marines. But if you can't produce Marines, it doesn't matter what upgrades they have. They could be 3-3. This amount doesn't beat this amount. It just does not. Some micro going down here from True, who just continues to rally Mutalisks and literally winning with pure Mutalisks. There was like 5 Zerglings this game, and that's it. Crazy play here from True with the quick 4th base. And I don't think that there's any chance for Scan at this point. Like, he's made so many turrets, but you can see the Mutas, like, turrets don't really counter Mutas. They just slow them down slightly. But when you have these many Mutas, it doesn't even do that. Getting on top of the turrets, there's 7 turrets in production right now, but it doesn't matter. The Mutas are going to kill everything at the natural expansion. And with 4 bases, look at that, Hydralisk Den and Evolution Chamber. That's his just-in-case moment. With 4 bases, obviously 1 base can't do anything for you. So this was one of the strangest Zerg vs. Terran games I think I've ever seen. Scan gets caught way off guard by the amount of Mutalisks. That 4th base, the sneaky 4th base, definitely doing a good job for True here. And the pure Mutalisk hitting before there was like the critical mass of Irradiates, of Marines and Medics together. Such a key and clutch play. Scan is trying to do like a turret defense UMS right now, but again, the turrets don't really counter Mutas, and now with +2 carapace, +1 attack even on the way for these Mutas, he can just attack in here. He has enough, right? He has like not quite 3 groups of Mutalisks, but close enough. If he brings every Muta down, it might be. More drones coming out on the map. Yeah, actually, he does have like 3 groups when I jump around and actually check how many Mutas there are. But True playing it pretty careful, pretty safe. He's still sitting on those 34 drones that we were talking about before. Seems like he actually has this mapped out, that he wants 34 drones specifically on the 4 bases to support 4 Hatch Mutalisk. Crazy, crazy game. Now, 2-2 is finishing up. Okay, so... oh, a drone comes in. Ooh, was that bad man or was that mistake? Command center coming up. Looks like he's going to get back into science vessels. You know, if he still had a few vessels, maybe we can give him a chance this game. But lurkers coming up. 2 evolution chambers. It's going to put a bunker down. Another drone comes down. That has to be a faulty rally. He wouldn't do that again. Only 3 barracks producing. It's just, even with those 2-2 upgrades, I don't think it would ever be enough here. True decides, you know what? It is time And he is going to jump on top of absolutely everything here. All right, going to go ahead, back out, denies the taking of the expansion. Scan still has hope. I do not, though. I do not. This is not a game that looks winnable in any way. Does a little scan to see what he's dealing with. You know, I think as soon as he sees lurkers, he'll probably just out. Like right now, he's like, well, if you stay on Mutas forever, there's always a chance because, you know, irradiates deal splash and the Marines hit critical mass and we get better upgrades to the Marines. It's like impossible to get up to 3/3 Mutas. No one's ever done it. You know, it's like even getting the third upgrade on Mutas almost never happens. So some lurkers are going to come out. Oh, man, sitting right in front, just getting the containment, not even trying to run in to finish the game or anything like that. But right now, True is up 100 supply, most of it in Mutalisks. He does have double the worker count as well as Scan sends SCVs to his natural to mine. And I think it's time. Here we go. Lurkers running in, and this should be it. True gonna take a third map in a row in this Survivor Series, really putting Team Zerg ahead right now. Scan trying his darndest, but can't stop the 4-hatch Muta. And as that command center goes down, GG is called. Now, hopping right into game number 4, it's going to be Paralyze, the Protoss, going up against True, who is just on a killing spree right now. Just a little bit of scouting going on here from Paralyze. He checked this location for an Overlord flying down, and now we'll go cross-spawn to see if True's over there. Nice little scouting pattern from him. It is a gateway expansion, so we should see some Zealot production immediately and maybe a little bit of pressure off of the back of that. Obviously, being a cross map is going to make it a little bit harder for those Zealots to do very much. But right now, the drone comes down and fights a moment. Sends a second drone just in case. You know, the probe shows up, and you got to worry a little bit, right? What if he tries something cheeky, a little cannon rush or something? It's definitely stoppable. It's not anywhere near as strong as it is in, like, StarCraft 2, let's say, but it still can pick up a map win here and there. So True gets his gas mining immediately. Is he going to play aggressively here against Paralyze? You know, Paralyze is in very, very good shape right now. He has been playing a lot recently, so you have to take him very seriously indeed. That first Zealot is making its way across the map. There are 6 Lings in production, so this is not going to be something that's very scary for True. He's going to know exactly how to go ahead and hold this. By the way, speed on the way, but that doesn't mean this is like an all-in. He is holding the ramp to deny any scouting up there, so you are a little bit nervous. Like, could this be a very quick layer? That's become a little bit more popular in the matchup. It could be. Oh my god, he got a drone. I wasn't even looking for that. That's crazy, though. That's actually crazy. I can't believe True let a drone die. True is kicking himself right now. By the way, he's making nothing but Lings. So it does look like it's probably going to be an all-in. But there are Zerg Speedling builds that are just made to make it look like it's all-in, but they actually go into more macro-oriented plays. So just something to keep in mind there. Now, that is a lot of Zerglings being made, man. This probe on the run. This one Zealot trying to get some information, and oh my god, he sees a lot of Zerglings. You see 3 drones here and that many Lings, and you haven't seen a third hatch. You got to make a lot of defense immediately. Okay, I think he might make a shield battery even. It's definitely a possibility. I think it would be a smart call. Yeah, there it is. Now he has these are the only holes. This northern hole and this southern hole, right? So he's got 1 Zealot here, 2 Zealots here. So it's a solid defense. The shield battery going to help a lot, and he probably needs to pull a few probes as well. Lings can break this really, really quickly. Ling damage is kind of absurd. Now he's got to heal those Zealots, and yeah, there you go. The shield battery certainly helping out a lot right now. Oh my god, True gets 1 Ling in. Okay, it's 1 very damaged Ling. That doesn't matter too much. Okay, another Ling gets in, but it's only 2 Lings in so far. His cannon's almost done. None of his Zealots died. This looks like a perfect hold to me. Some decent harassment going on. Yeah, no, I think that this was like almost perfect. Obviously, if he doesn't let the 2 Lings in, it's a little bit better. You're not losing any mining time. These might even end up killing a probe. But that was very, very well held from Paralyze. That one Zealot that went across did everything for him. I think the way, like, when we saw him microing it and he clicked it upwards, because the 6 Lings could kill it, and he said, screw it, we're going to run up. And then Lings came down to make sure he couldn't come up the ramp. But as soon as he saw those additional Lings, he knew what was up. That was too many Lings to have that early in the game unless you were going for some sort of very aggressive attack. So, really well done, utilizing that Zealot to its fullest for that information. And behind all this, True is going for more of a macro play. He's getting that 3rd hatchery. Here's the layer. But, you know, okay, I mean, 23 drones, 24 drones. He's droning up really heavily, and he is making an additional macro hatchery here. But this is going to be a little bit hard when Paralyze is actually ready to move. I know it doesn't look like it right now, okay? But Paralyze is basically 100% safe. He's already getting +1. Both of his Nexuses are creating nonstop, and he's going to have a Corsair out really soon. Like, you're going to have to think about, like, maybe getting a Hydralisk Den here. He throws down a creep colony, probably for a sunken. But basically, the Spire is not going to be done, so he's not going to have any anti-Corsair, which means a lot of Overlords could end up dying here. Normally, when someone does a build like this, they will get a Hydralisk Den and utilize Hydras to protect the Overlords. But I guess we'll see how that goes down. +1 on the way, but no Citadel yet. Paralyze decides to move out anyways. You're going to have to make a lot of Zerglings to deal with this either way. Another hatchery goes down. There is no sunken. If he had a sunken here, I would feel a lot safer for True. But up come the Zealots. Oh, man, this area is amazing. This creep colony just gets canceled. He knows he can't keep it. And going after that hatchery, if he gets his hatchery killed, that is gigantic. Notice he only puts 3 on it. That's so he has good surface area. You don't want the Lings to surround all of your Zealots against the hatch. Instead, look at this. Yeah, he's making these flat walls of Zealots where the Zerglings have to fight. Beautiful micro so far here from Paralyze. Doing a great job holding his area. See, only 3 Zealots attacking. Keeps the Zealots in these lines, not allowing them to surround. And the Zerglings come in once again. Paralyze's goal here is to just trade as efficiently as possible, and I think that he's doing it right now. The Zerglings can't win that fight. He has to wait for more at this point. 5 Zealots remain somehow. Corsair coming up now. It did a little bit of scouting, and now coming after this Overlord. It looks like this hatchery in a lot of trouble. Second Corsair comes up. This one has 2 kills already, and this is what I was talking about before. You can see a ton of Overlords on that production tab being made right now. But honestly, this is like the amount of damage dealt. Look, 25 to 42 now, right? This is what happens when you make all those Zerglings and you're not able to do much with it. Now, there's 6 Scourge being made, and he's going for Carapace. I believe the reason why the Carapace upgrade is being made is we're probably going to see True go for Ogre Zerg Gamer. You know, you make a bunch of Scourge, you make a bunch of Mutas, and you just fly across the map and try to win the game. I think that something like that is probably a good choice. It doesn't feel like he's going to be able to macro into Hydra and win this game. He has no pre-storm timing, and then other than that, it's like Paralyze hasn't really taken damage, you have to remember. Right? He had to pull a few probes to, like, block the initial Ling attack, but everything's looking good for him. He's at 48 workers, which is more than saturation for 2 bases. He hasn't even added his gateways yet. He's only got 2 gates right now, but he's going to be able to explode up to 8 right now if he wants. Now 4 Zealots coming across. Legs almost done. He's got +1 coming as well on armor. He does have that +1 attack, so these Zerglings don't stand any real chance here. Just going to 2-shot those so easily. Oh, the double sunken, though. I don't know why my eyes just weren't looking there, but double sunken colony is... That's going to be able to hold it for him. That's actually... I like that placement, too. That's a really interesting placement. It doesn't fully protect the bottom hatch, but the bottom hatch is full health and doesn't matter as much, and he's going for Mutalisks. So I think this was a very smart double sunken. Wow, okay. Now, the Mutas are coming out. I don't believe he's seen the Mutas. He's seen the Scourge. Okay, maybe he's seen this one Muta. But... Like, there are games where people make one Muta to be sneaky. 6 Corsairs, though, with the +1 attack. That's really painful. That 2-shot Scourge. So, you know, you have to really be on top of getting your connections as Zerg here. He's going to kill off another Overlord. Does that supply block. Zealot's being hit by these Mutas. Armor not done yet. Oh. And he actually gets a decent couple hits with those Scourge. Doesn't hit the same one, so doesn't get a kill. And now his Muta's taking incredible damage. Oh my god. Look how quickly these Mutas are dying. That's insane. That's got to be game. No way. No how. True did fantastically, though, eliminating Haya, Mighty, and Scan, but it looks like Paralyze is going to be a bit too much for him, which means Protoss getting a win on the board, keeping a player in to fight against one of our last two Terran players. GG.